Hi everyone, Abby here. And welcome back to my channel for Tech Tuesday, or welcome if you're new. Now today, I'm going to be reviewing the new Garmin Lily 2 Active smartwatch. But before I get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed so you can stay tuned to all my new videos dropping weekly and so you can help the channel grow. So I have the Garmin Lily 2 Active here in the color Silver Purple Jasmine. So you can see it does have a silver bezel, casing, and it has purple jasmine colored band. So it's actually a really pretty combination. It does come in some other colors as well, which you could see on screen. And the current price as of recording for the Lily 2 Active here is $399.99 Canadian and $299.99 American. I'm gonna be doing a full comparison on the Lily 2 versus the Lily 2 Active, so make sure you're subscribed with your post notification bells turned on so you don't miss that video. It's gonna be dropping on AbbyBReviewing Tech Tuesday soon. So now I'm gonna get into the major spec highlights about this smartwatch so you can get an idea of what it can do. The Lily 2 Active has a liquid crystal grayscale display. It has a battery life up to 9 days on a single charge. It has built-in GPS and it tracks a variety of indoor and outdoor activities like running, walking, dance, yoga, and more. It tracks your daily metrics like your steps, your calories burned, your active minutes, your stress, your pulse ox, SpO2. It also tracks your sleep. You can track naps on here as well. You can see your HRV status, which is a stat I know a lot of you out there love to see. It has a water rating up to 5 ATM or 50 meters, so you can confidently take this swimming with you in the pool, in the rain, in the snow, and more. It has a slim 14mm quick release silicone band. It also tracks your women's health. It does have safety features as well. It has Garmin Pay on here for payments on the go. You can view and reply to text messages. You can view your smartphone notifications and more, but these are definitely the most important highlights, I think. This is what it looks like on me. And I do have a 7-inch wrist. You can see that there are a couple of holes left over here. Now, this is the Lily 2, which is a line made for women, and it does fit smaller wrist sizes, which a lot of you out there will love. And I do have the wrist size that can fit on screen for you. Now, after wearing this for a couple of weeks, I definitely find it super comfortable to wear. It's lightweight, it's not irritating my skin at all, and I think it looks really nice on myself. I really like that this band here does have that quick release mechanism. If you guys remember the original Lily, it had like this thing where you had to screw them in and out. Didn't like that. This I love. If you want to change the band, it's super easy. Put your nail in there and you could take it out with the little pin mechanism here. Push the pin, it retracts, so it makes it easy to put on and take off. Something that's great about this smartwatch, because it is a quick release watch, that standard kind of band mechanism, you can find a lot of different third-party options out there if you want a different type of band, whether that be metal, fabric, or if you want other silicone color bands as well. This does have a hidden digital display. It's all grayscale, so without that, it does look like your traditional timepiece, but when you tap the display, it wakes up and you can see the time, you can see all of your metrics as well coming up at a glance for you. The display, I think, is pretty good looking for grayscale. I do love myself a color display, but I'll say after using this for, a couple weeks, you kind of get used to it in a way. Right now you can see it indoors under some lighting. Direct on, pretty easy to read in my opinion, but at certain angles, there's a lot of glare there. Outdoors here, it is readable if I have it at a direct angle, but in that really bright sunlight conditions, if you're out on a super sunny day, it does get a bit hard to read even at the highest brightness settings. So that's something to keep in mind with this type of display here. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, please go ahead and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. The Lily 2 Active currently has a battery life up to 9 days as a smartwatch. But with my usage, doing things like GPS walks, runs, daily alarms, looking at text messages, and more, I've gotten on average 6 to 7 days of battery life with this watch. Now for me, that's really good. And comparing this to the previous Lilies, it's a large improvement. So those are my battery life results. You may get something higher or lower depending on your individual uses because we all use our smartwatches differently. And I will say if you're someone who you like to do super long outdoor runs or walks, your battery life is gonna drain a lot more because the GPS is one of the things that drains your battery life really quick. And I wanted to mention that this does not have an always on display option. So you kind of just have to tap it to turn on the display. You can change the latency duration from short, medium to long, but the longer you have it on, the faster your battery life is gonna drain. All right, guys, so now I'm talking about women's health. So for my men out there who don't want to see this, you can use my timestamps and jump to the next section where I'm going to be talking about sleep tracking. It's going to show the day you are at in your menstrual cycle, and you can go ahead and you can add your physical symptoms, your mood, any discharge, your sex drive, and more. And you can actually go ahead and you can turn off or on different things. Like if you don't want to see your sex drive, you can take that off. If you don't want to see ovulation, you can take that off. It's really adjustable in the Garmin Connect apps. A lot of other brands don't allow you to do that. So starting off with the physical symptoms, you can track anything that you are feeling. And this is stuff you can track every single day, not just on your period. And you can track your mood. And I always say this, but I just love that they give you so many different options here. You can also track any discharge that you are experiencing. Touch controls on this watch, guys. The touch controls. That's the thing with the Lily. I was gonna talk about the cons, but sometimes if you want to click on something, it's not that accurate. Okay, so for the discharge here, you can track anything that you are experiencing. And you can track if you are ovulating, and for the sex drive, you can track that as well. So once you track all of this stuff, it's also going to appear in the Garmin app. You can track it in the watch, or you can track it in the app. I personally prefer to track it in the app because it's a lot faster, and I think the app looks a lot better. You could see cute little emojis on the screen. You could see more information on the app, like you could see your period prediction date, which you can't see on the watch here. So the Lily 2 Active does have advanced sleep tracking. So when you wake up, you could see your sleep score. You could see the amount of time you slept as well. And if you nap at all, you're gonna see your napping data on here, which I think is really helpful for those of you out there who do like to nap. So here you can see the duration of my sleep, you can see the sleep quality, and they give you a little message here as well in addition to the sleep score. And if I click up here, you can see even more information. And you can see my sleep stages here. This smartwatch does track your deep sleep, your light sleep, your REM, and your time awake. And you can also see the time I fell asleep and the time I woke up. I find this is usually spot on. So you guys can see the sleep stages here. I think the sleep stages are pretty good. Definite improvement over the Lily and the Lily 2. You guys can see that it says 45 minutes awake. So that's pretty good for, I think I woke up a couple of times, kind of tossing and turning. Light sleep, deep sleep.
These stages I do think need a little bit more refinement, especially light sleep. I find that to usually be way too high.
And you could also see the last couple days of your sleep data here as well. Your average sleep score also. So the sleep tracking, in my opinion, pretty good on the Lily 2 Active. One of Garmin's best in my experience. If you're looking for great sleep tracking, I would always recommend going with the Fitbit. They are just amazing sleep tracking. But if you're looking for, great activity tracking and then just good sleep tracking, the Garmin Lily Active 2 here is a great option, and Garmin watches in general, you find that trend. So there's a lot of activities you can track on here. I'm going to show you guys all the activities here. And in case you guys are wondering, there's a lot of different dance stuff that you can do, which I think is pretty cool. The Lily is the first smartwatch that had dance from Garmin. So it does track a variety of activities, both indoor and outdoor. So when it does track an activity, I do find it pretty accurate. If I'm doing like a walk outdoors, so far with the GPS, I have had no issues. I do find it connects to the GPS pretty quickly when I go outdoors for a walk or a run, for example. It connects within about 30 seconds or less. So one thing I like about this is that it's accurate. The course I do when I walk outside, when I come home and check it on my phone, it's spot on. It's also very reliable. I haven't had the GPS connection drop at all on me. I do find the pace as well also good. Sometimes it does take a little bit of time to adjust if I'm like doing walking and running intervals, for example. But overall, it's pretty good. And I do like that you can track a variety of things like your distance, your pace, your total calories. You can see the time as well. So after a workout, you can choose to discard that activity or keep it. And you could say how you felt after your exercise. And after your workout, you could see a bit of a snapshot of what happened. It will tell you how long you need for recovery. So it's a nice amount of information you can see here. I think that the activity tracking here is really good. So when it comes to your steps, this morning, I just woke up. I took 125 steps. The watch is showing 130, so pretty close. Typically, I find that it's a little bit high by like a couple steps, but pretty good. If you are someone who are using this watch to track, you're pushing a stroller or you're pushing a shopping cart, you're not moving your arms, it tracks some of your steps, but it's not gonna hit all those steps. It doesn't really record your steps as well if you're not actually, moving your arms while you're walking. And also when it comes to tracking your pulse ox, this smartwatch has done an amazing job. And a lot of other Garmin smartwatches, even more expensive ones, struggle with pulse ox. So for example, if I look at my health snapshot from, yesterday, you could see my SpO2 pulse ox was 99%. The pulse ox, in my opinion, has been really good. I routinely get around 99 to 100%, which is my normal SpO2 value. So I'm really happy that it's actually kind of getting that spot on. With the SpO2, you can spot check anytime during the day. You can also turn it on to track your SpO2 during sleep. I personally turn that setting off because it drains your battery life a lot. So at a glance, you can see your stress, your heart rate, your breath rate, your pulse ox, and your HRV status as well. Garmin's heart rate tracking is really good. I find it accurate. Even with the older heart rate sensor here, you're still getting really great heart rate data. And you could see my heart rate here for the last couple of hours here. And the heart rate sensor here is a little bit elevated. So when I have it on my wrist, this is the only thing that's really touching my wrist. The entire watch is not really touching it. It's kind of just the heart rate sensor, which I kind of like. I'm gonna show you guys all the watch faces that are on this smartwatch. We do have some pretty good options. Most of them are digital. We don't have that many analog looking watch faces. And if you do want to adjust one, you can go ahead and click on the little gear icon there and you could turn off or on some things. But this is all you can adjust with the watch faces. You can't change the look of the clocks. You can't change, obviously, color. All right, guys, so when it comes to the notifications on the Garmin Lily 2 Active here, the notifications, much like on any other Garmin watch, will pop up at any time. By default, when you get the Lily 2 Active here, you're going to receive all of your smartwatch notifications. You can go into the Garmin app and you can turn off specific notifications for different apps. So you can go in the Garmin app, you can pick and choose which apps you want to receive notifications from. Otherwise, by default, you're going to get all of them. So when you get notifications from text messages, you can reply to them. For other messages, like if you're getting a WhatsApp notification, a Facebook notification, you are not able to reply to them, you can just read it. Now to respond to messages, you have an option to use any of the pre-built responses that are shown on screen here. You can also go ahead and add your own, which is really nice because not everyone just wants to say, okay, can't talk. You might want to send something more personal, something more like you. So you can go ahead and you can add in whatever you want to say. See you later, save. And then that's going to get added to your watch. And you can send that off as a response for a text reply in the future. So you can go ahead and you can add on as many as you'd like. They have so many to choose from. I'm gonna show you guys some examples of what they do look like here. So the sender's name will pop up as well as the message. And you can go ahead and click here and you can reply. And it will send that reply on your phone for you. And you guys can see here, there's a bunch of different notifications that I just received, different things there. And if you click on them, you could see a bit more of that information. And I'll show you guys the email, which is a lot longer. So you can go ahead and read through it. This just shows you a snapshot of the email or a snapshot of a long message. You can't read it all for some reason. All right, guys, so now I'm going to show you the basics of how to use this watch here. If you want to turn on the display, you can go ahead and you can tap the display. You can press either of the buttons, or you can go ahead and turn it towards your face and the screen will light up. So once the display is on, from the home page, if you swipe left or right, you can see all of your different apps and widgets on here. Now I've downloaded a couple of them. You can choose to install whatever you want. They do have a bunch of different options. And if you go ahead and you click on any of them, it'll open up in a bigger format for you, showing you more information. And you can also click on it to start it. For example, if you're doing health snapshot, you can click on the screen and it will take that reading for you. And if you guys do have your phone connected, you can control the music on your phone as like a remote. So you can like pause or play YouTube videos, Spotify or music you're playing, stuff like that. But you cannot download music on here, keep that in mind. Under display button, it goes back to the home page. If I hold it, I'm opening up my alarm. So you can choose to hold it to set a different shortcut. And this right here is your back button. We do have two buttons at the side. So I click this and you can go back. If you hold the down button, you're gonna open up your settings here. You can change your watch faces, go more into settings as well for more things. If you go ahead and you hold the top button here, you're opening up your little control menu. For example, I could turn on Do Not Disturb mode. Once again, this is the back button. And a quick press of the top button is gonna open up your activities here, and then you can start it up here. And all right guys, that is how you use the smartwatch here. It has a low learning curve. I really love the fact that we do have buttons for kind of quick shortcuts and easier usage. All right guys, so I have done some cons about this watch here. So the first one for me is that there are very minimal watch face options. There are, I believe there's around maybe 10, and you don't have the ability to add more like you do with some other smartwatches. You can't make a custom one. You can't really edit them in any way except for deciding what data you want on them, but you can't change the look of them. So I find that a bit disappointing. It's super limiting, and if you don't like what's there, you're kind of out of luck. Another con for me is that there's no music functionality at all with the smartwatch. With the addition of the GPS, I was super excited because I could now go out and record all of my GPS data with me, but I still have to bring my phone because I can't download any type of music on here. I wish they would have allowed us to store some music on here. Even if it was just like 100 songs, that's better than nothing. Another con for me is that the touchscreen controls are finicky. Now this is a trend when it comes to the Lilies. Every single Lily I've had, the original Lily, the Lily 2, Lily 2 Active, they all have random touch screen sensitivity issues. You know, sometimes if I'm swiping and I'm trying to touch something, I'll click somewhere and then something else will activate that I didn't want to activate. I definitely think the touch controls need more refinement. They need to be more accurate. That's something I do find annoying. It happens on a daily basis. Another con for me is even with the older heart rate sensor, still doing a great job, finding a bit of an annoyance that they still put the older heart rate sensor on new smartwatches. Another con for me is that the Lily 2 Active here does use some of Garmin's cheaper materials, and while that's great for keeping the cost down, it makes the watch less durable because they are using aluminum casing here on the watch. Aluminum is a material that does scratch, it dents pretty easily, and it's not as durable as the stainless steel, which they do use on their more expensive smartwatches. And the last con for me is the price increase. So the Lily 2 Active here is the most expensive Lily yet. The Lily, I feel like a huge selling point when it first came out was that it was small, it was lightweight, it was cute, and it was also pretty affordable. But now coming in at basically $400 Canadian plus tax, that's not really a super affordable smartwatch. Similar in price range to other smartwatches that have a lot more capabilities. And all right guys, considering the price, the quality, the color, the performance, the battery life, the comfort, the ease of use, the features, and everything like that, I would go ahead and give this a 7.9 out of 10. I definitely do give it a thumbs up. So if you guys are looking to pick up the new Garmin Lily 2 Active here, I've gone ahead and left a link down in the description for you to use. And if there's anything I missed today that you want to know, just go ahead and drop a comment below. I do read all the comments, so I'll definitely get back to you. And if you do want to help support the channel, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, join the AbbyBReviewing community. I do drop new tech videos every single Tuesday. If you want to leave me a super thanks, if you want to help support the channel, would appreciate that. Anything you give will go towards creating new content for you. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.